Welcome back to Key of Clarity Tarot. If you're here, there is a message here for you. So take what resonates, leave the rest behind. As always, this is a timeless reading. It finds you when it is meant to find you. So if you're here, there's something for you. I pulled from the Rose Pocket Oracle to gather the themes. I pulled the thorn, boundaries, and clear communication. So the thorn in the rose is boundaries and communicating clearly. Do not cross this boundary. And then we also have after the rain, silver lining, hope, it's over, mercy. So some type of silver lining in the boundary that is either from you or for you. Okay, so on the underside of the reading, which is mirroring your subconscious or things that are going on beneath what you can see, underground, we have the Hierophant energy, the Nine of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Page of Cups with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So the Hierophant energy is representing the energy that's going on in your subconscious realm, sitting at the foot of knowledge, having the keys and knowing which doors to unlock. So you are on the precipice of unlocking something new within you. And you're unlocking that because of this Nine of Pentacles energy. You've been planting a lot of seeds and you're in the space of your harvest. Subconsciously, your subconscious realm, your subconscious thoughts are finally catching on to what you've been feeding it. So if you've been feeding it your dream life, if you've been feeding it pictures, if you've been feeding it music, if you've been feeding it new ways of thoughts, your subconscious is finally saying and agreeing, yes, we can bring this into fruition. Standing in that Nine of Pentacles energy, your subconscious is surrounded by all of the things that's getting ready to bloom into your reality. And you also have the Lovers here. Lovers represent the divine masculine and divine feminine being in harmony with the angel on top. You see this barren tree here, as well as the fruit of knowledge. You see all of the themes that could be integrated from the book of Genesis if you are a Bible reader, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. It's the psychological understanding of the story that you're really having to pay attention to, which is the understanding of the wisdom between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Within your subconscious realm, you have the Page of Cups, which is learning a new way to feel, learning a new way to feel about yourself, about your relationship to life, about your relationship to the cosmos and the divine, about the feelings that you have deep inside of you. So you've planted all of these seeds, but they still, even in the harvest, need to be nurtured by the waters within you, these new feelings that are wanting to bubble and come to the surface. And then, as well as what's going on in your subconscious mind, you have this Eight of Wands. And this Eight of Wands does represent the fastest moving card in the deck. It does represent spirit. Things are starting to pick up in your subconscious world, which means that you're no longer having to study and go over things again and again. It's like something comes into your life, you study it, you pick it up, and it moves, okay? At the top, in the conscious realm, I pulled the tarot cards, but I also pulled some clarifying cards. So I pulled the Ten of Pentacles because the Ten of Pentacles does represent you coming into a new financial story, stable home, a stable environment, right? But I also wanted clarity on that because I wanted to know how that comes into being for you. And that comes through this King of Swords. Again, those clear communication of boundaries. You clearly communicating your boundaries in your mind's eye about what you're going to think about, what you are going to contemplate, what you give your time to thinking about, what you give your time to exploring in your mind is really going to bring in this Ten of Pentacles energy. Then we have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, I was a bit confused at first because it typically represents somebody who feels like they are getting away with something. It represents deception. And I was like, wait a second, what does that mean? And then you have this Queen of Pentacles on top. Baby, you have been deceiving yourself and the rest of the world by not agreeing to the fact that you are the divine feminine archetype of the Queen of Pentacles. You have a load of money waiting for you. in the ether to be given to you. You have been pretending with the best of them like you struggling, and you're not. You really aren't. As soon as you make up your mind, as soon as you decide that this is the energy that you want to walk into this world with and not care about how other people are going to think, where did you get that money? How did you get that money? Did you come by it in some type of way? Because people are going to think what they want to think when they do not believe that there is a higher understanding, when they do not believe that divine intervention can happen, when they do not believe that the powers that be can bestow abundance upon you. You have to stop caring. You have to stop caring about fitting in, because that's the deception. The deception is fitting in with your thoughts, fitting in with the way that you speak to people, fitting in with the way that you communicate with people. Stop communicating with people like you think like them. You don't. You think like this Queen of Pentacles here. You don't think like they think. So stop doing that to yourself, because you are carrying burdens in your conscious realm. You are carrying burdens of spiritual being that's not yours. Put it down. You're at the end of this road. And then I have the Hanged Man as a clarifying card. Pause. Take a pause. Whatever is going on in your life right now, take a moment to pause. Put the 10 of Wands down. Put the burdens down. Put the load down, and take a pause. Take a pause for the cause and breathe. Just sit for a moment and breathe with yourself, because you've been looking at what you've lost, in relationships, what you've lost in material world, what you've lost in jobs, what you've lost in opportunity. And you haven't lost anything. This 2 of Cups clarifying the 5 of Cups means that you have true love, divine true love in your heart, waiting to be expressed. But it cannot be expressed if you're in your 5 of Cups energy thinking about grief. You have to concentrate more on what is true for you in your heart. As you do that, you have this 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of this deck here, which means collaboration and teamwork is coming in. It's coming in through this Knight of Wands. Through Spirit is bringing something to you. And then at the bottom of this deck, you have again the 10 and 10. You have the 10 of Pentacles once again. So you are starting a new financial chapter. And then you have the Queen of Wands here as well. You're starting that new chapter through Spirit. You and Spirit have an agreement. The more that you tap in and you tune in with Spirit, the more that you get clear with Spirit, the easier that this transition is going to be. Because there is a silver lining for you. You are at the end of a chapter, but your boundaries and clear communication is how that's going to happen. That's the boundaries and clear communication within you. Not necessarily with other people, but with you. What conversations are you willing to engage in? What conversations are you willing to have with yourself and other people? Get out of the conversations that you no longer want to be involved in within your own mind and with others. This is your reading. If this is your reading, please claim it in the comments below. Claim it in your heart. This is Key of Clarity, and I'll see you on the other side.